About a year and a half ago, Bryce and I made a video poking fun at a few boy moms, and I really thought that that would be the end of it. I wouldn't have to do another video about boy moms. However, we just had Mother's Day and prom season, and girl, I just knew I had to make a follow-up, okay? I felt like I was Moana, and the boy mom TikToks was the ocean calling for me to come in and make a video about it. But before we get into it, let's define what a boy mom is so we're all on the same page. You are not a boy mom if you are simply a mother to boys, or if you make TikToks about your son, or if you love your son and post about it. That does not make you a boy mom. What makes a boy mom is having this unhealthy, almost obsession with their sons. They tend to favor their sons over their daughters, a lot of times spreading negative narratives about having daughters in favor of having a son. We're gonna be talking about all of that in this video, but first I wanna talk about something that I think is the biggest indicator of a boy mom. The thing that makes people automatically accuse someone of being a boy mom. And it's this like tendency for these boy moms to see their sons as like men to fulfill some sort of romantic area of their life. And because they have their son fulfilling this romantic part of their life, they tend to see other women as competition to them. And that includes their mom, their daughters, their future daughter-in-laws, or any potential girlfriends, Scarlet Witch and Marvel rivals, the first grade principal, literally any woman in their son's life. They tend to post stuff like this: born to be your lover, forced to be your mother. Yeah, when you realize you're gonna have to share the love of your life, my baby boy, with another female one day. When you're obsessed with your son and already worry about having to share him. Yeah, the feelings I get when I watch these TikToks is the same feelings I got when I watched Game of Thrones for the first time. I'm not gonna elaborate. Those who knows will know, okay? I think what gets me and a lot of people up in arms about boy moms is that they're so close to sounding wholesome, but there's always that little part of their TikToks and what they say and stuff that makes it feel like a Black Mirror episode. I feel like humans were built with like this alarm built into us, this thing that tells us when something is off for like survival mode, you know? Like the same part of my brain that alarms me to not pet a bear that I see in the wild is the same part that goes off in my head whenever I see a boy mom on TikTok, you know? Like something feels off. If she were to say something like how she loves her son is her world, her son is her everything, I don't think anyone would think it was weird. I think everyone would think it was wholesome. It would end up in a wholesome compilation for Good Morning America the next day. But I think her using the word obsessed, it just ruins the vibes. Like, obsessed is a word you use to describe like some really good tacos or your favorite boba place. I hear millennials using the word obsessed to talk about their feelings towards their Harry Potter house, being a Slytherin for 29 years, their feelings towards Crumble Cookie, you know? Does that sound like the right word to use to describe your toddler son? The same word millennials use to describe being a Slytherin for 32 years. I also want to add, I don't even use the word obsessed to describe my relationship with my husband, and we do it like raw, Donkey Kong style. Okay, so that should tell you something. Look, no one is ever truly safe from a boy mom, okay? They're like the Babadook. They might appear normal at first and come clawing at you in your sleep, okay? But what you can know is that your data will stay safe. And that's thanks to our sponsor of the day, which is NordVPN. So what NordVPN does is that it keeps your data and your identity safe from hackers, fake e-commerce websites, like really sketchy, fake websites that you might be clicking on. So if you're the kind of person like me, where you're always like searching and clicking on sketchy stuff for research purposes, okay, at least your identity will stay safe. Nord also has additional features like the threat protection program that protects you from malware. So if you're always downloading like music or photos or videos like I am for content purposes, it scans your files, identifies if it's malware, and then deletes it. My personal favorite part is the password attack feature. It notifies you when your information ends up on a sketchy website, and it also generates and autofills strong passwords for you, so you don't have to use like your 2008 Club Penguin password password that you've been using for 15 years. Also, it's hot girl summer, okay? I know a lot of you guys are gonna be out of country, out of state. Having a VPN is perfect for that because it allows you to keep up with content that might be blocked in your area or your state. So if you don't already have a VPN package, now is the time because Nord is offering a spring package where we can get 74% off a VPN package plus 4 months for free. All that on top of a 30-day money-back guarantee, girl. So if you're interested, go ahead and click on that link in the description and try out NordVPN risk-free for at least 30 days, girl. Thank you so much, Nord, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the content. Here are a few more examples of what I'm talking about, okay?
Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like, dear. I fucking hate you.
I just saw this TikTok that said, I can't even it said, watching your son grow up will feel like the slowest breakup you ever go through. And it's so true. And now I'm an emotional mess because all my boys are getting so big. And I used to be their number one. No, I'm not.
Again, so close to sounding wholesome, but then you had to go and use the word breakup, where the only connotation with that word is cutting ties with someone you had a romantic relationship with. It's just like uncanny to watch, you know? It's like watching Glenn Powell try to act through the Botox in his face. It's like watching Polar Express for the first time in 2008. It's like giving Gal Gadot's acting abilities, you know, where she just says a line and it just completely takes you out of it. You know that scene where Gal Gadot goes, "Khalil, no!" Like, that's the type of uncanny my brain feels when I watch TikToks like this. This is a Khalil no moment. Also, not only does this give everybody in the room uncanny vibes, it's not even a good metaphor for what you're trying to explain. How the hell is breakup a good way to describe watching your son, who you're gonna spend every day with for at least 18 years? How does that equate to a breakup? What is the implications here, right? Do you treat your exes like you do your son? Are you still funding your ex-boyfriends from college Robux addiction? Are you cleaning their dingleberry stains from their underwear still? Are you guys doing this for men that you've broken up with? Is that the implication? Or is it that the fantasy of your son being your romantic lover fading away over time as they grow up? You guys literally feel like it's a breakup when your teenage son comes home and they talk about having a crush on another girl and you feel like he cheated on you. Are these women finding out that their son has a crush on Kinsley from physics class? And then that causes them to binge eat Little Caesars, get a sleeve of crumble cookie, and just cry their heart out to Olivia Rodrigo. I think my litmus test for whether or not something passes the uncanny boy mom test is does that sound like something Drake would say about Millie Bobby Brown? If the answer is yes, maybe let's rethink our word choice here, you know? So here's another example of boy moms, again, sounding 99.9% wholesome, but there's that 0.1% that just turns it into an uncanny Black Mirror episode. So there's this trend where moms will put their toddler sons' faces into an AI, and then the AI will show them what their son will potentially look like when they're in their 20s as a grown man. Honestly, that part I don't really care about. I know a lot of people have their feelings towards parents putting their kids into AIs and stuff. I don't really think there's that much harm in using filters and AIs for fun. That doesn't really bother me, okay? The uncanny part though, okay, is the music choice that they've used for this trend. They all specifically use the song "It's All Coming Back to Me" by Celine Dion. I can't play the song because I'll get copyright struck, but I'll sing the lyrics for you, okay? Why that song? You know, this is some OG boomer cream pieing baby making music. okay? Like, my parents probably conceived me to this song back in 1996. Like, this is what I mean, where it's like mostly wholesome, and I don't think these moms intended for it to sound creepy, but then there's always that little uncanny part of using a cream pieing song that people to describe the way your toddler son will look like in his 20s. I think the litmus test for me is like, would you guys be okay if a 42-year-old Discord mod made the same edits about your toddler daughter using this song? Would you? Like, would you make the same CapCut edits about your daughter, about your grandpa, about your brother, to like these cream pieing, baby making songs? Would these women ever post something like this?
Your pussy is the best place on earth. Every time I slip in, spit on your hand and stroke my cock at a medium pace.
I feel like the answer is no, right? Because it's uncanny, because it's weird, because this is a Kalel no type moment. I feel like this whole sentiment of seeing your son as a male to fulfill this romantic-esque part that you're missing in your life has really carried over to like prom season this year. So this mom is celebrating her son's prom night by making him pick her up as a date and taking these prom date type photos with her. This mom twerks in front of her son and she says, showing my son the real prom moves. I think my favorite part of these TikToks is just the son's face in every single one of these. It's giving like a celebrity having to go to prom with some rando for like a PR event and they just have to fake it the entire time. Guys, this is like if Harry Styles got a DUI, so his PR team told him he had to go to prom with me. This is like what he would act like the entire night. It's giving like that one day that Charlotte D'Amelio had to pretend that she was like a normal person working at Walmart for like PR. Overall, the last two were really not that bad. It's giving a little uncanny, okay? But it's really not as bad as the next mom I'm about to show you. This mom filmed herself getting ready and essentially inserting herself into her son's prom night.
Get ready with me for my son's first prom. It's gonna be like the perfect mother-son matching moment. I didn't have time to get my hair and makeup done like all the other girls. So I hope that my makeup and my hair turns out good. It really doesn't matter as long as Mason thinks I look beautiful.
The other girls, is she trying to like insinuate that she's trying to outshine the other 17-year-old girls at the house? Guys, she's trying to mug the 17-year-old girls with braces in the house right now. Oh, where'd you get your dress from? Windsor? Oh, I got mine from a boutique in Winooka, Illinois. Oh my God, this is like really embarrassing, but my corsage is bigger than Ainsley's. Like, yeah, I bought it for myself, but I made Aiden put it on me. I filmed it and put it on TikTok. It has like 200 views. Imagine being in your 40s and like trying to compete with a bunch of 17-year-olds. In addition to making the get ready with me, she also posted this TikTok where she does like this prom transition. And of course, she got a lot of hate for posting these TikToks. So then she kind of decided to really lean into it, really play into being a boy mom, and then she like posted these TikToks. No compliment will make me cry. You're in love with your son. A mother is her son's first love, and he is her forever hero. She reminds me of that one super toxic boy mom that everyone, including myself, made a video about last year, where she definitely is a boy mom and fully admits to being a boy mom, but then has decided to really play into the boy mom character to like get engagement and views. So I mean, I guess you kind of have to respect the grind, right? I grew up with a bunch of narcissistic people in my family members who love to take people's days away from them and be the main character and try to dress and outshine other people and blah, 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 blah. And let me tell you, bitch, it's like kind of traumatic. I literally have never had a graduation or a birthday party where I didn't have to share the day with somebody else until my 29th birthday a couple weeks ago. So whatever narrative that you guys might have, whether or not this is rage bait, blah, 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 she still bought a prom dress and filmed all this and made herself the main character of a high school prom as a grown woman. I personally have a family member who did like this, like dressed up for their son's events. they did all the events with their sons. Like, it was like a truly an uncanny Kalel No, Drake Millie Bobby Brown moment. And my question to all the women who actually do stuff like this, who are we trying to impress here? Are we really trying to impress high school boys and mog the high school girls? Are we really trying to win the hearts of a bunch of teenage boys where their biggest priorities is GTA 6 and AP chemistry? Like, I don't understand the appeal of trying to do this. Like, when all of his friends come over, is she like a pick-me to these teenage boys? I can just imagine her being like, I hate that your moms make you guys eat healthy kale salads. Like, my son eats pizza rolls. Y'all better be good to your teenage sons. Because if not, he'll be at my house where he can play unlimited Fortnite and eat unlimited pizza. Yeah, I'm a cool mom. Like, what are we doing here? And of course, this romantic sentiment between mother and son carried over to Mother's Day this year. This woman decided to recreate a wedding where she gets to marry her child's son, essentially.
I've waited 100 years, and I'd wait 1,000,000 more for you.
You have to take Savannah to be your lawfully wedded mommy forever. Savannah, take Paxton to be your lawfully wedded son forever. You may now kiss your mommy.
I mean, at this point, she's just doing the quiet part out loud, okay? She's literally recreating a scenario where she can marry her son. I know that there was a chunk of people that were a little bit on the fence, a little split on this one, but I genuinely think that there's a difference between leaning into a cute moment where your son tells you he wants to marry you and he puts like a little toy ring on your finger or something, versus spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a Shein wedding dress and literally recreating a wedding where you get to marry your son on TikTok. And as you guys can see, she's got daughters in the background, okay? So until she makes the same exact effort to marry all of her other daughters, she's not escaping the accusations, okay? I think the most uncanny part about this whole thing is her trying to pass off that this was her son's idea. Like, I don't know how old he is. I think he's like 6 or 7 years old. Does this look like something a 7-year-old boy would ever do? Girl, look at the way the balloons and the confetti is organized, okay? It's not giving 7-year-old boy. It's giving millennial mom. It's giving someone who grew up with Lunchables and is obsessed with One Direction still, you know? You know how people are always like, oh, I found Jesus, and like, that's why I turned my life around. These women, they need smut. Has this woman found smut yet? Because I feel like she would really benefit from it. I can't help but think that if this woman found like boyfriend ASMR from Daddy Sounds on YouTube, she would then place all of her like romantic feelings and stuff onto the sexy Christian Grey professor instead of her 7-year-old son. So like I said earlier in this video, the biggest indicators of what makes a boy mom is not only this romantic aspect and sentiment towards their sons, but also favoring their sons over their daughters. It's like if a pick-me were to become a mom and they carry a lot of this like subconscious kind of sexism they have towards women onto their own daughters, a lot of times spewing like this narrative that having daughters and having women around is like bitchy and annoying and they're expensive and they're just like always ruining shit. While having sons is like this beautiful rainbows and sunshines, you're so quiet, they're so loving. Of course, I love my son more than my daughter type of narrative. This is a trend I've been seeing on Instagram a lot that people will put over like their baby boys and baby girls, you know? And it says, if your first child was a girl, it's because God wanted to tell you it's time to do things differently because your daughter will always be watching you. And if your first child was a boy, it's because God knew you needed someone to love you like no other.
They say when God gives you a son, it's because you deserve to know what true love is.
Guys, my parents had 2 daughters only, okay? So I need to send this to my mom. I need my mom to know that the reason why she had 2 daughters is because God wanted her to feel like we were judging her and watching her every movement. God didn't set my mom a son because he didn't want her to know what true love felt like. Nope, not her, not that bitch. My mom must have murdered someone in a past life, okay? Because God really wanted to punish her by not allowing her to know what true love really is. Okay? This bitch must have been Al Capone in the 1920s. Guys, Casey Anthony is going to have 5 daughters and 0 sons in the next life. It's the way of God punishing her. My number one question when I see women posting shit like this is like, do you guys not love your husbands? Like, I would assume that like you would feel true love with the man that you have multiple babies with, but I guess I'm wrong. I guess that's reserved for baby boys only. Guys, you know the cup chairs in hotels? That also doubles as the husband and daughter chair, and they alternate who sleeps on it every night. The bed is reserved for the mom and her truest love, the baby boy, especially the firstborn. This next video is a skit that these 2 moms are making about a boy mom versus a girl mom once your kids are like teenagers.
I am so sorry we're late. My daughter is on an emotional roller coaster. All of her friends blocked her on Snapchat. Then she couldn't find her Stanley. And then she had to pump a pimple and cover it with makeup for 5 hours. Everything's drama. There's so much drama. You know.
No, I don't know. I haven't even seen my boys today.
Why is it so quiet in here? The girls are always screaming or crying. You know.
No, I don't know. They're probably just playing video games. So where are you guys going for spring break?
We were thinking about going to Australia, but me and my daughter's periods won't be in sync, so we cannot do that. That will be a nightmare. You know.
No, I don't know.
I'm going broke. You think eggs are expensive? Try having a teenage girl. My credit card bill is like Sephora, Aloe, cheerleading competitions at Brandy Melville, Stanley Cups. It's out of control.
Huh. The only thing my boys buy are flowers for me.
You're not getting balls to the face anymore?
I don't want to know what they're doing with their balls anymore.
She is stealing all of my clothes and makeup. It's the worst. You know.
No, I don't know. Sometimes they steal my... No, I actually steal their oversized hoodies.
I gotta go. She needs organic tampons, and if I'm late, she scares me. She's so mean.
The old daughters are dramatic and expensive and annoying trope that I've heard a million gajillion times. Now look, I don't have any kids, but I know a lot of people that do, okay? So correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like all kids are expensive and annoying. Again, my parents had 2 daughters, and especially in the Asian community, like the sexism and the boy mom is like pretty strong, okay? The amount of times that like other people, grown adults, would come up to my dad and be like,
oh my God, 2 daughters? You must be always out of money because makeup and hair and outfits is so expensive. You must have period blood spewed all over the walls from having 2 daughters. Like, bitch, what the f?
Yes, Stanley Cups are expensive. You know what's also expensive? Hockey gear. Yes, makeup and hair and nail stuff is expensive. But how much did you spend on Fortnite skins? How much was the Death Star Lego set that you just bought? How much is that plumber bill from someone clogging the toilets from shaving their pubes in there? It's like the same shit. It's expensive in different ways. Also, when are men less dramatic and quieter than women? Have you seen a bunch of teenage boys in like the Silver 2 lobbies play Rocket League? They literally come up with inventive ways to yell racial slurs at 2nd graders. It's like the same amount of toxicness as a bunch of girly pops rehashing 5-year-old drama at Chili's about a girl they all collectively hate. Okay, it's about the same. Look, boy moms get to have pink eye from getting shot in the eye from a Nerf gun battle, okay? My dad, as a girl dad, he has to listen to the Barbie Princess and the Popper soundtrack over and over and over again. This man can quote every single line in order from the Bratz Rock Angel movies. My dad serves... That's all I'm gonna say about it.
My boy moms feel me on this, but my son has my heart and my soul. I obviously am obsessed with Stevie Lee. She is just the greatest little girl in the world. But my whole life, I always wanted to be a boy mom. And I remember when I found out I was pregnant with him, and I was just ecstatic because I was such a tomboy growing up. Anyways, the whole point of me making this video is I had to share his preschool photo with you, because when I tell you, I opened up this email and I just hysterically cried. He is just everything. First of all, let me show you his photo from last year, because the difference 1 year makes, my heart is crushed. Okay, this is last year. He is just, I just want to squeeze ice.
Somebody check this woman's computer. I feel like she has at least 1,000 AI generated photos of her son on there. Guarantee. Again, there's something wrong with talking about the bittersweet feeling of watching your son grow up. The issue is that she literally admitted to a bunch of people on TikTok that she has an unhealthy obsession with her son and favors her son over her daughter. Imagine being the daughter and like seeing that your mom used her free will to talk about how much she loves her brother more than you. Just like think of the trauma, you know? This is the type of trauma that you get and then you become a YouTube commentary person. Okay, I would know. The biggest problem with this is that these women are literally setting themselves up for failure. Like, you're never going to marry your son, I hope. At this point, you guys are just edging yourself, holding yourself for something that's never going to happen. It doesn't matter how much you favor your son over your daughter. It doesn't matter how many times you make his favorite meals and give him Fortnite money, okay? It's never going to stop him from liking Kinsley in physics class. It's not going to stop him from searching prime Megan Fox boobs 4K HD in Hindi on the family iPad. And there's nothing you can do about it, you know? And that's okay. That's normal. Like, is this really about the 7-year-old boy? The one that likes Marvel Rivals and hates spiders and still poops his pants ever so often? Or is it about projecting your fantasy of like how you want to be loved onto your 7-year-old son, the only male that you have access to? Like, all of these TikToks is not even talking about things that a 7-year-old boy really does. It's like they don't even see him for his actual personality and what he likes. They see him as this like romantic man that's going to fulfill their dreams of going to prom again, their dreams of getting married and having a man that loves them and will pick them over other girls. Like, it's just like very weird and uncanny to like put all of that onto a 7-year-old boy. You get what I mean? So like I said, the majority of these TikToks were about moms with very young sons. And it's all fun and games and it can be cute and people are gonna be like, oh, it's not even that bad when it's about a mom talking about her 5-year-old son, right? But like, what happens when you become a boy mom and your son becomes a grown man? Imagine what it's like having a mother-in-law that's a full-blown boy mom. So this woman is pregnant and she has said that her mother-in-law has never liked her, always hated her and her baby that she's currently pregnant with. But one day, her mother-in-law decides to throw a really gracious baby shower for her. And when she's there, everyone's nice. But then she comes to realize that they're not throwing this baby shower to like rekindle and have connection with their future grandchild. They're trying to make her a surrogate mom for her sister-in-law.
They put like a thing on me and it says surrogate mom, and then what does my sister-in-law have on? Mother to be, and I'm like, what's going on? Is she also pregnant? I am not a surrogate, so I don't understand what's happening here, right? It's happening so fast, and they're like, you're having a baby for her, right? The baby, she's been trying to have a baby for years with her husband and it's not worked. They're like, they said that you guys are having this baby for them.
And enough champagne
to fill the night.
This is truly some Black Mirror shit. Okay, this is some millennial girl true crime type shit. You guys are gonna get Nancy Grace out of retirement yet again to cover this story. This bitch is literally the Caitlin Clark, the LeBron of boy moms. Look, other boy moms, they were putting up their layups. They were hitting their threes. They were being pretty consistent this season. But then this bitch came out of nowhere and just dunked on every single one of these bitches. I think my only commentary for this is why like being a boy mom or like dating a mama's boy can be really toxic. It's fine to date a mama's boy if they stand up for you and they back you up and they're there for you and they're there to support you. However, a lot of times these mama boys are gonna just leave you in the does. Let's have a moment of silence for all the brave women out there that has a boy mom mother-in-law, okay? And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your crazy stories about your boy mom or your mother-in-law, whatever. I love hearing those stories. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.